This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, we take a look back at some positive progress that was made in downtown Hazleton in 2014. Happy New Year and welcome to 2015 and to FYI. I'm Ken Cara. 2014 saw plans take shape to revitalize downtown Hazleton. Today, our Janine Mazurkevich talks with two of the people involved in the revitalization effort and what it means for the city in the new year.
We are reflecting on 2014 and preparing for the new year here on FYI, and we are very pleased to have with us Neil D'Angelo and also Krista Snyder. They've been working hard and diligently all year on the Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress group, which we've been telling you about all year long here on FYI. And Neil, for those people who may not know what the Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress is, give us a little briefing on why that was formed.
Well, a couple of years back, I guess, we started looking at downtown Hazleton, and with us having interest in moving down here, we went and visited some other cities and seen what they had going on. And there's, a lot of other similar cities have a revitalization going on. So we talked to a lot of people, and at the same time, there were a couple of groups, I guess, looking at the downtown Hazleton. And we just wanted to make it downtown Hazleton a better place to live, work, and visit. So that's what started it all, and we joined forces, and we've been working for a full year, I guess, at it diligently.
Okay, so how did Krista come along?
Well, Krista was she was in the other group, I guess, that was looking at downtown, and she was working in downtown Hazleton, and it just was the right fit. I mean, it was with Krista's background and everything like that, it was a perfect, just right in. So.
Okay, so you're the executive director, so what have you been doing all year long?
Well, the first part of the year really was based, we focused on a lot of organization, getting our committees formed, getting our volunteer base, getting, reaching out and building partnerships, fundraising was a big part of our year. We pretty much reached our goal for 2014, although we have a 5-year fundraising campaign, to raise over $1 million. So we're still working on that. That's not over. We also initiated a strategic downtown revitalization plan, which is wrapping up early this year, early 2015, and so we're going to spring from that and really focus on moving forward with those recommendations.
You talk about fundraising. It's not an easy task. I've been involved in a lot of fundraising and marketing, and when you look at how much money has been raised through the generosity of this community, mainly the businesses here. Now you did get a couple grants. We're looking at about $390,000.
That's right, just for 2014, which was our goal. So we, like you said, it's mostly the business community from the greater Hazleton area and the private foundations.
I know for me that means that people are interested in the commitment to the downtown. What does that mean to you?
It means everything. I mean, again, the downtown's our core. It's the heart of the city. So, in this city, it's always been that way. These, the people of Hazleton are, when they get behind something and believe in something, they'll never stop supporting you, and you see it over and over again. So I'm not surprised, and thankful for everybody that did step up and appreciate it. So. Yeah.
The beginning of a year is an exciting time. I love setting goals for myself personally and professionally, and for you with this group. What are we looking to do for 2015?
Well, keep springboard off what we've done and started here in 2014. I mean, we've done a lot in 1 year, and we're proud of that. But there's a ways to go, and we have to finalize the plan. We want to become a Main Street community, and I know Krista can tell you a little bit more, but that's a big thing. And we did acquire a building downtown, to look to put the City Arts Center, and just keep the second Friday, keep some of these initiatives going, and springboard, and hopefully keep making them more successful. So yeah.
from what we hear from the businesses here, and maybe people who haven't been downtown recently, a lot of what we did in 2014 through this group was the fundraising and the strategic planning. 2015, I'm sure you're eager to get a lot more of these things accomplished as far as visually for people to get even more excited about what is happening in our hometown.
Right. We did initiate a facade rehabilitation program in 2014 that we really hope to ramp up in 2015. So we're going to be looking at several significant properties in the downtown and hopefully assist with some facade rehab work on that. So that'll make a huge difference. We're hoping that the city, working in partnership with the city, that the city takes action on converting the corner of Broad and Laurel, the former Greco lot. They have plans to turn into a city park, and so we really want to see that happen. So those will be two, just big improvements that not only for the visual side of things, but just programmatically, it gives people a place to congregate and come together.
With this group, it really has been about the community and the business community making all of these decisions. You paid for it through the money that was raised, and also you have a study that's going on that people actually, most of their input is actually what you're doing in the downtown.
Well, absolutely. I mean, the buy-in and a lot of the decisions and ideas that we're looking to implement are decisions or ideas that came from this community. It's not consultants from the outside. It's not just Krista or I and our ideas. It's the community and what they think downtown, because that's who's going to use it. And that's who So yeah, I mean the community has told us what we're continuing to listen to what they want to see downtown Hazleton be, and that's what we're trying to make it. So.
Right. So you might not live in the downtown or in Hazleton itself, but it is very important for everyone to come together and support this project because Hazleton is the core of the community.
Yeah, it's the cultural and financial and civic heart of our region, and so we want to make sure that if it's not working well, then the whole region suffers, and so. We want to make sure that it succeeds and it's revitalized and it enriches the quality of life for the whole area.
Well, we definitely have seen progress in 2014. I'm excited, and I hope you are too, to see what transpires here in 2015. Thank you both, Krista and Neil, for joining us here on FYI. And again, we are recapping what has happened in 2014 here on our special edition of FYI.
Thanks, Janine. Later on FYI, I'll take a look back at the local sports year with Standard Speaker sports editor Dave Seaman. And after this break, Lisa Sugart has a story about the future of an old Catholic school building in our area.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
The new year also means new life for a former school in our area. Lisa Sugart reports on a West Hazleton project that organizers hope will benefit the entire area.
This is the former Transfiguration School in West Hazleton. From 1931 until 2006, students graced the halls and were part of the neighborhood. But now this once vibrant building has fallen on hard times. Enter parishioners of Holy Name of Jesus Parish, who wanted the building to have new life once again. New life for the entire Hazleton area.
This project started 2 years ago with the Building and Grounds Crew Committee that evaluated the whole building and the different options we had to either preserve or demolish the building. And it became apparent through several engineering companies and 2 demolition companies that refurbishing the building was the most cost-effective way of preserving the building and preserving what we need to do for the homecoming picnic, and also to enhance the social activities of the school or the school building and for the parish community.
Bob Noss is chairman of the fundraising committee and a longtime member of Holy Name of Jesus Parish, located at Transfiguration Church. The parish was formed as a result of the consolidation of the former Transfiguration Parish, St. Francis of Assisi Parish in West Hazelton, and St. Peter and Paul's Parish in Hazelton. The Reverend Peter O'Rourke was assigned to the parish. At the same time, church members were pondering the future of the former school.
We were having some difficulties with the kitchen, and it was decided that something needed to be done with the school.
Father O'Rourke and Bob Noss explained that the kitchen in the old school is vital to the parish's future. Homemade ethnic foods like pierogi and halupki and much more are made each year for the annual homecoming picnic, which draws people from everywhere and serves as a major fundraiser for the church.
Without the picnic funds, the church would be hard-pressed to sustain itself at the present time.
If the building were not renovated to the point that the picnic, we would not be able to continue with the picnic, then, you know, the parish would close eventually, next 10 years, 12, 15 years, because of the funds that that picnic generates really is something that they need here. If the building were not there and we were not capable of doing that, I would say that this parish would close within 10 to 15 years.
So, to save the church and the former school, a major capital campaign was launched with the ambitious goal of $1.2 million.
We have been approved from the bishop of a total $1.2 million project. We've been approved from Bishop to do a $250,000 first phase, which includes installing handicapped accessible men's and ladies' room in the parish hall, and to refurbish the kitchen to ensure that we have an adequate space for our homecoming picnic food preparation.
While the campaign is only a few months old, the community has already stepped up to help. Richard Pepsney is heading the capital campaign effort. He's long been affiliated with both the school and the church.
I look at it from a graduate standpoint, from a coach's standpoint, from a person that spent a lot of time here with other people's kids, not being a parent, but because I wanted to be here. And I think there's other people that want to create other memories here, and they will do so. I think I'd have to say that there will not be basketball any longer because of the size of the actual floor. I think it was like 54 by 40, and it wouldn't be really great to continue to play basketball on that kind of a floor, and because of the ceiling. But still, there's a lot of memories made and a lot more to come.
And while the committee wants the public to know that there will no longer be a school in this building, they explain just what uses are being considered.
Actual campaign in order to raise money started only in at the end of September, August, right into September, and we've already raised just a little under $200,000. So we have many pledges now that have come in. They come, and the money comes in on a monthly basis, so that money's continuing to come in. The first phase of this is $250,000. That'll be done. We're looking to put the roof on the building first in early spring, and simultaneously the kitchen will begin. We'll begin to renovate the kitchen.
If all goes as planned, the committee believes the possibilities are endless.
You're going to have a rental type situation. You're going to have, if you wanted to have a wedding reception, that would be a little less pricey. If you wanted to have a bereavement meal, if you wanted to have a Zumba-thon, if you wanted to have any sort of thing that you might think that your personal family thing might want to be able to have a rental type situation. It wouldn't only be the family, it would be anyone within the community that would be able to use this, and we've just touched the surface on things that we might want to do.
My hope would be that we'll rent the 2 school floors. There's been some interest in possibly renting that out. I know that there's a couple of private schools, nonprofit schools, that are dealing with autistic kids today. That would be an ideal situation for the rental, long-term rental of the 2 school floors. So we have several committees that are really investigating all of these different aspects that we might be able to move forward with.
For the parish to be able to hold gatherings, to have the dinners, to have more meeting space, and to have handicapped accessible place for people to come and have social events and fundraisers also. We are also looking to make the building eventually to be self-sufficient financially, so it doesn't become a burden on the parish.
Soon, these windows will be replaced by stained glass windows from the former St. Francis of Assisi Church in West Hazelton. The committee tells me they will do their best to use as much from that former church in this building as possible.
While they're not looking to replicate it, Rich Pepsney said the current Hazelton One Community Center in the former Holy Spirit Academy School in Hazelton gives them hope and inspiration.
Definitely. I mean, Joe Madden did a great job, and the people they did a fantastic job. We're not necessarily trying to duplicate this, but in this area, we're trying to make this part of it. Because just think of this area without this on this block. What would happen without this parish, without this building? Would it be greater for West Hazelton? I don't think so.
And the project ties in nicely with the revitalization that is currently underway in downtown Hazelton.
There are so many buildings that are being torn down in our community and in our cities. Now, this is a building, 83 years young, that we can use to have something to make our children and to make them feel that they're part of this community, to grow it up rather than to tear it down. Anybody that wants to give to this project, our email address is holynameparish@ptd.net. Our telephone number is 570-454-3933.
If you would like to be part of this major renovation of both a building and a community, you can contact Holy Name of Jesus Parish in West Hazelton.
Faith will get us through this, and we will have the pinning, but we need help.
Reporting from West Hazelton for FYI, I'm Lisa Sugart.
Thanks, Lisa. Lots of good things happening in our area. That includes sports-wise. Come back and we'll take a look back at the sports here next.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
You may be celebrating New Year's Day, but we're celebrating another Dave Day here on the Sportscast. Very happy to have Dave on twice this week. Dave Seaman, the sports editor from the Standard Speaker. And Dave, on Wednesday we talked about you doing the year in review at the Standard Speaker, taking a look back at some of the big local sports stories. One thing I really noticed and wanted to talk about was baseball in our area. When we talked with Russ Kanzler here on the set, he said, wow, you know, baseball really seems to be maybe the sport in this area right now. And with Hazelton area winning a district championship, MMI winning a district championship, Tamaqua going far in the state playoffs. You had Kanzler's comeback going from the New York Yankees system and then getting essentially cut and then going to the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs and the Phillies and having success. And then Joe Madden making the move from Tampa Bay to the Chicago Cubs. So a lot of baseball stories this year.
Yeah, we called it, one of our segments was a Memorial Day to remember. If you look back at that day at PNC Field, you had the Hazelton area baseball team winning in the morning against Delaware Valley for the district championship. I guess the Cougars' first sub-regional championship since 2005. Then in the next game, MMI beats Blue Ridge for the Preppers' first district championship ever in 122 years of baseball. So that made for a memorable day. Short time, a couple days later, then Tamaqua wins the District 11 Class AA championship. So a great year for the Blue Raiders. They've had a lot of success over the years. And like you said, Joe Madden's story was a big-time story, especially how he recognized Hazelton in his press conference, his introductory press conference. You just had a lot, and obviously Russ Kanzler's had a big second half of the season. So a lot of baseball doings in 2014.
On the other side, for softball, you guys had a story in, and maybe one of the, well, definitely not one of the great moments this year. Of course, Hazelton area softball team losing their head coach, Vince Trival-Peace, after some controversy there with an injured player. But the story, and something you really wanted to focus on, was the resilience of that Hazelton area Lady Cougar team and how they still went on and captured a district championship.
Yeah, this group of players has played together for a long time, and when their coach was taken away from them, they resolved to win for him, and I think that's the essence of sports, that spirit, that camaraderie that the girls showed, and they still had a fantastic season, repeated as conference and as district champions. They got to the state playoffs again. Girls were named to the All-State team. A lot of talent on that team, and more impressive. It's a life lesson. I mean, things aren't always going to go your way in life, but these girls showed that if you stick together, good things are going to happen for you, and they happen for the girls, and I think even more good things are going to happen for them this year.
In the fall, Dave, a lot of good football around here. Anthracite League and that Marion having a good year, a few other teams as well. But North Schuylkill, just watching their offense and defense, I mean, it was so much fun. I'd go there for highlights. I could really be gone in 5 minutes just running the ball, passing the ball. They were really impressive.
Yeah, the Spartans really had an outstanding season. A couple All-State players, and Tevin Murray and Major Jordan. They were a two-point conversion away from possibly getting into the state playoffs. So once you get in the state playoffs, you don't know what could happen. And I think the Spartans have set themselves up well. A lot of returning players, although they lose some linemen, but a lot of skilled people coming back, and the Spartans retreat in 2014.
Before we sign off, I want to look back at our play of the year. We just showed it to you a few days ago, and it happened late here in 2014. Here's Dante Biazzi as the Hazelton area Cougars win in the Cougar Holiday Classic in the game to get them into the championship game. And here he is with his half-court shot. He makes it, nails it. And Dave, I saw you were sitting there. You were covering the game and covering local sports for a while. Does it ever get old? Do you enjoy moments like this still? Are you still surprised by things?
It's what high school sports is all about, the unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen, and to be there and watch something like that, and just the reaction of the kids, and I just love watching the reaction to events too. Like at that point, the Cougars were struggling a little bit offensively. Coach Joseph put in different reserves like Dante and John Collado. They came into the game and they gave the team a spark. And watching kids come off the bench when it's their moment and stepping up, that's the essence of sports to me.
I think it's interesting, the very last thing, Joe Madden during the HIP celebration, along with everyone from the Hazelton Integration Project, they do the arts event that is Hazelton Kids Have Talent, where they have kids playing the piano and a lot of kids who are very talented in the arts in Hazelton. They said, hey, you don't realize sometimes the talent in the arts, and they definitely are talented. Sometimes you don't realize the talent in sports that we have in this area. Would you agree as well? If you head out to the Huey McGeehan Gymnasium or anywhere even in the Schuylkill League, there's a lot of talent to be recognized here.
Yeah, it's in the gyms and the fields, but it's also in the pools and the field hockey fields, on the cross country course, on the track. It's just a wide range, and there's so many opportunities in there. You just wish, like, kids that are in the 5th and 6th grade right now, look at those opportunities now, because there are a tremendous amount of opportunities for kids to excel. Like you said, not only in sports but in the arts. It's a thriving area. Kids have every opportunity to succeed.
And when your kids do succeed, you can check them out in the Standard Speaker. Dave and the staff are always doing a great job. Dave, Happy New Year, and Happy New Year to all of you at home from the sports team.
If you want to go out, then you want to go to Bottlenecks, the place everyone is talking about. You want to go where the food is as good as the atmosphere, where you can find mouth-watering steaks, amazing appetizers, seafood, burgers, wraps, and of course, you want to go for the award-winning wings. Bottlenecks is the perfect place to meet with friends for lunch, dinner, or drinks after work. So if you want to go where everyone is having a good time, you want to go to Bottlenecks.
I hope 2015 has started out great for you. Go watch the college football playoff, and while you're doing that, stream some great programming from SSPTV at ssptv.com. We'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy, everyone.